How to plot a multi-line graph in Excel. Whether you need good help, a genius writer, a brainy tutor, or a data wizard, Intuito for you has them all. It's like having a research dream team on demand.
All right, let's dive right in. Today, we are all about turning what looks like just a bunch of numbers into a really clear, powerful story using a multi-line graph. Let's get to it.
You've totally been there, right? You're looking at data from different years, or maybe different products, and you try to cram it all into one chart. A single line just can't do it justice. It's kind of like trying to describe a whole orchestra with just one single note.
So that's exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to build a chart that actually tells the whole story. We'll go step by step, turning a simple table of numbers into a visual that does all the heavy lifting for you.
So when exactly does a single line fall flat? Well, it's the second you need to compare trends over the same time frame. Think about it. You've got sales from 2024 and sales from 2025. With just one line, how can you see which year was better, where the growth spurts happened, or if the gap between them is getting bigger or smaller? You just can't.
You know, every great chart, and I mean every great chart, starts with a rock-solid foundation. And for us, that foundation is a super well-organized data table. If you get this part right, trust me, everything else becomes incredibly simple.
Okay, before we go any further, let's just nail down one key term you see here, data series. It sounds technical, but it's not. It's really just a fancy name for a column of numbers that you want to turn into a single line on your graph. So, if you want 2 lines, you need 2 data series. 3 lines, you need 3 data series. It's that easy.
And this table right here, this is the perfect setup. Your first column, that's for your labels on the bottom of the chart. In our case, it's the months. Then every single column after that is its own unique data series. That's going to become its own line. So here, we've got one line for 2024 sales and a second line for 2025.
So once your data is set up just like that, we are ready to plot. And this is honestly the fastest part of the whole process. You're going to see the basic skeleton of your chart pop up in just a couple of clicks.
The whole thing is really just 3 quick moves. First, you highlight the entire table and make sure you get those headers. That tells the software what to name everything automatically. Then, you just insert a line chart. Now, here's a little pro tip. I always choose line with markers. Why? Because those little dots pinpoint the exact data for each month, so there's no guesswork. It just makes it so much easier to read.
And boom! Just like that, you have a chart. Each one of your data series, your 2024 sales and your 2025 sales, is instantly right there, each with its own color-coded line. That's the basic framework, and it took what? A few seconds?
Okay, so a basic chart is fine, but a great chart is something that's crystal clear, totally professional, and just easy to get at a glance. This next part, customization, this is where the real magic happens. We're going to add the details that make it truly impressive. So to take your chart from just raw data to a professional-looking visual, you really want to focus on these 3 things. First, give it a good descriptive title. Not just chart, but something like Sales Trends 2024 versus 2025. That way, anyone knows exactly what they're looking at. Then label your axes, so there's zero confusion about what the numbers and categories mean. And finally, play with the lines themselves to make them stand out. And speaking of formatting the lines, here is probably the single most important design tip I can give you. The whole point of color isn't just to make the chart look pretty. It's to make it instantly understandable. When the colors are distinct, your audience doesn't have to struggle to figure out which line is which.
And this slide just shows you the difference perfectly. The chart on the left, it uses high contrast colors, and you can follow each trend without even thinking. But then you look at the one on the right. With those low contrast colors, the lines just kind of melt into each other. It's confusing, and it completely defeats the whole purpose of making a chart in the first place. So what happens when your data changes? I mean, say you finish another year, and now you've got sales numbers for 2026. Well, the great news is your chart is a living thing. You can easily add more data without having to start all over from scratch.
And the process is so straightforward. You literally just right-click on the chart, go to Select Data, and then click Add to tell the chart where your new column of numbers is. So if you add that Sales for 2026 column, it'll pop up as a 3rd line instantly. It's just that flexible.
All right, let's zoom out for a second and put all the pieces together. Let's recap this whole journey. From that simple table of numbers all the way to a powerful visual that really unlocks the story hiding inside your data.
So when you boil it all down, it's really this simple 4-step process. You start with that clean, organized data table. That's your foundation. From there, you pop out the basic chart in seconds. But then comes the real craft. You customize it for absolute clarity with titles and labels, and then you polish the design to make it look sharp and presentation ready. And that's it. That's the whole workflow, from data to discovery. So now you have the ability to go way beyond a single flat line and tell a much richer, more interesting story. This isn't just about making charts look cool. It's about being able to ask better questions of your data. So I guess the real question is, what hidden trends and insights are just sitting there waiting to be discovered in your own work?
And subscribe now for more amazing videos just like that. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe to yours channel. Thanks for watching.